Good one, Ben. CHUBcast. We're talking about the Cadillac 3 first. I chose the Cadillac 3. They are a southern rock band from, strangely enough, Italy. Weird? I know. You'd think like,
what?
Yeah, Italy. Bizarre.
What? He sounds as American as it gets.
Yeah, I know, right?
The lyrics of "I'm Southern" are a fucking lie.
Southern Italy, I think.
Yeah. He literally
No
says
joke.
in I am Southern.
They're from Tennessee.
I was going to say. He says, like, my daddy from Louisiana.
I wanted to keep that going throughout the whole episode, but I could already see someone going into the comment section and being like, actually, they're from fucking China.
That was even more shocking than when I found out fucking Skiltron were the Argentinian.
Yeah.
Playing the bagpipes.
Yeah, this band that's playing the bagpipes are from Argentina, which apparently has a huge Scottish population. But yeah, I've discovered this band through Claire and Julia, who both love country music, and I saw them in 2016 at Ramblin' Man, and they were awesome. And it was like a sunny day in a field, like it was just like the perfect atmosphere. I remember one of them saying like, y'all over here got weird accents, which I thought was really funny. They're very.
He says in the most yokel accent possible.
He knew. It was just a joke, but yeah, it was so good. They are brilliant, in my opinion, of course. Should probably just throw in that this is a country episode, by the way. This is a country episode. Yeah,
we're doing the country special.
Yeah,
we're torturing ourselves.
What have we done so far? We did funk and
metal.
We didn't do punk, did we?
What did we do? No, funk. What did we do before funk?
Prog.
We did prog, metal, and now we're doing country.
Yeah, we're going through the genres, and so anyway, I'm just gonna throw my fucking ball onto Ben. Go on, Ben.
Hello.
Cadillac 3.
Yeah, I like this album. It was good. It was definitely to me it didn't sound like wholly traditionally like country. Because it was kind of more like country, like southern country rock. In that like it had like a lot of modern influences that a lot of like country and like bluesy sort of musicians have nowadays, where it sounds a lot fuller and a lot like rockier. Like it's leaning more to the rocky side than the country side, but obviously the country is still there.
Yeah, in the form of like banjos and stuff in the background. And
yeah, exactly. It's like it leans heavily on the southern rock side, more towards the kind of almost Kings of Leon-y sort of sounding.
It was almost like Blackstone Cherry-ish to me in a few places.
Blackstone Cherry was headlining that Rambling Man gig.
There you go. Yeah, they chose well. It was consistently very good. There are like a couple of like songs, like I feel like for me personally, even though I enjoyed the whole experience, it was one of those sort of bands that like they sounded quite samey after a while. So listening to like a whole album did drag on a tiny bit towards the end. But by the time I was looking at my, like I always have like an indicator for my Spotify or whatever I'm listening on, where I'm like, okay, if I have to look at how many songs I've got left, that's how I know I'm bored. And like luckily, but by the time I was basically bored, it was like the second to last song or last song anyway on the album, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So yeah, but like I think the first half of the album is definitely my favorite for sure, because it's got really, really good songs on it. I really liked Back It Up, because I'm pretty sure that's just like a sex song. I'm sure. Like,
one of my favorite things to do recently is to take sex songs really literally. So to me, Back It Up is a song about a man who really likes getting run over by a pickup truck very slowly. Because
That's his really weird kink.
Just really, yeah, I'm not king shaming about the guy who likes being run over by a pickup truck, but like, that's like.
Not the weirdest kink in this episode, to be fair.
Oh, God.
Get Your Buzz On was another one of my really favorite songs. Actually, it's probably my favorite of the album, just because like that hook where it's like "Get your buzz on, get your buzz on," and I'm just like, oh yeah. It's kind of dirty a little bit. So yeah, like it had a really really strong opening, and then I think as it went on towards the latter half of the album, like it wasn't bad by any means, but it sounded very samey. So like I kind of zoned out a tiny bit towards the end.
You
was
guys
surprised
stopped at
to
White
see-
Lightning, right?
Oh no, I just went the whole way.
Okay.
I just went the whole way as well.
So you went.
White Lightning.
You
I
watched
listened
the
to.
South.
I
Need two
Yeah,
more after White Lightning. Oh wait,
I didn't listen to I'm Southern remix or the White Lightning acoustic. I just listened to the South and Whiskey Soaked Redemption.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because I was just like those look like the actual songs rather than like acoustics or remixes.
I think the last song I listened to was Whiskey Soaked Redemption. So
Yeah. Greg, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I was a little bit surprised to see that it's only like a 45-minute album, because I was going to agree with Ben that like towards the end of it I was a bit like, okay, I've enjoyed this now. Let's move on.
yeah, it was good that it wasn't too long. I feel like for me, it's kind of like it's not really. There's plenty of stuff you could do with country, and they did change it up towards the end. Like Whiskey Soaked Redemption was very much a traditional country song and a bit of like a ballad, and like there was that other song that was basically just a love song. I think it was it's literally just a lady's name. Oh no, that was on the other album. I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, they did have a couple of like. Are you thinking of Betty? Jolie.
Betty and Jolie. That was off the other album though. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a few like slow ballads.
For me, I was pleasantly surprised. I really like going into this. I thought like, okay, well, it's pretty much a given that I'm gonna like the Dash Rip Rock album more than this one, because this sounds like more of like a straight up country album, whereas Dash Rip Rock was like prefaced with like, yeah, it's like punky country. So I was like, I'm probably going to enjoy that more because it's more novel. But I was very surprised. I listened to the Dash Rip Rock one with Ben, and at the time I was like, it's okay. It's not like bad, but it's not anything special. And but yeah, I thought this one was quite a bit better than the Dash Rip Rock one, actually. Mostly because it does hit that, like, I do like Blackstone Cherry and stuff like that. But I feel like, for me, like, yeah, it did get quite samey by the time it got to, like, Days of Gold. I was like, okay, now I feel like I've heard it all already. And they were all very verse, chorus songs. And I think one of the main issues I have with country is it's like, the vocal delivery never really changes up that much. Because it's like, I gotta sound like a yokel, so I got to do it all the time, and it's like
cowboy, baby,
cowboy, and
cowboy.
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
Cadillac 3.
Cowboy, and yeah, they don't really switch up very much.
Yeah, I agree. The vocal style change is very similar throughout the whole song. And I
found it was one of those albums, like we've said about a few other ones, where it's like if any one song came on, you'd be like, yeah. But listening to the whole thing, you're a bit like tired out by it.
I did think Whiskey Soaked Redemption was like actively bad. I didn't like that song at all, but the rest of it was fine. IMO. I didn't favourite any of it because it's just not really my thing, but it's not bad. I wouldn't complain if it were on.
I just want to throw
Even
in...
I'm Southern. That was a jam.
Mate.
I don't think I listened to I'm Southern.
I think...
The first one, isn't it?
The first song.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I must have.
No,
I'm getting mixed up with I'm Southern and The South.
In I'm Southern, my favourite... is I'm Southern has got one of my favourite lines like ever written. Just... Like, my daddy come from Louisiana, I like
Louisiana,
the hot sauce.
like a hot sauce.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
I
so
wrote that
good.
in my notes as well. I was like, okay.
That line is fucking amazing. My daddy come from Louisiana, I like the hot sauce. So good. I fucking love that
I
shit.
wrote-
Man.
So that's something that I kind of like about country is like quite a lot of the time they're very self-aware. It's like a cheesy, ironic performance that they do because they know they're over the top and they know they're like playing this character of a stereotypical Southern American person.
It's like when they came on
Yeah, they
stage.
just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's like when they came on stage and they were like, "Y'all over here have weird accents." They knew what they were saying. Oh.
They knew exactly what they were saying. Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna make a lot of songs about getting drunk, riding my pickup truck, and
whiskey,
Getting run over
having
by a
sex
truck.
with my relations, you can't take yourself that seriously, really, can you? Like,
Oh dear.
That's the point. When you hear like parody music, to kind of skip ahead a bit, it's why it's so hard to tell if this type of music is parody or not. Like with Yellow River Boys, or I mentioned Wheeler Walker Jr. last episode. Like when it's joke country, it's actually quite hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are definitely serious, but like,
but it's kind of like tongue in cheek, though, right? If they took themselves like deadly seriously and they were like, "This is who we are, and we're very serious about it, and we really love our country and America," then it would be like really, really gross. But it's not like that. So.
There's like a big difference between like light-hearted and parody.
Yeah,
and I feel like these guys are like, you know, light-hearted because they can like have a joke and stuff, but they're like serious at the same time, rather than being like full on like America. Like, it's obviously that they love their country and everything.
the thing,
I think they're just being their actual selves. Like they're serious in the fact that they probably are pretty much like this. They're just exaggerating it in the music.
Yeah.
Like, I bet they do fucking love hot sauce and wear cowboy boots and all the rest of
absolutely.
it. Drive Cadillac.
I haven't actually looked at what these guys look like. I'm gonna look it up.
they're
It'd be
quite
so
attractive
disappointing if they
blokes.
just look.
They're
If they all
actually just
look
normal
like
looking
Alt J or
dudes.
something.
They're quite young as well.
Yeah,
The song
just a few dudes.
the song that I thought was just amazing, in my opinion, was "Days of Gold." Because I actually had only listened to the first 4 songs of this album before I picked them. But Claire and Julia love it, and like I was really personally pleasantly surprised that the rest of the album is just as good. And like "Days of Gold," I don't know, just fucking, you know how England is so claustrophobic, you know, that you have to like look for like the public footpaths, and and there's like small roads, and all towns are all windy and windy, like built years ago, so roads, like driving through Cornwall for example, is like a nightmare. Days of Gold. Yeah, exactly. And Days of Gold, though, it just kind of just made me feel like I could see the horizon and it was still like a ranch. And I could go there if I wanted to, and it just felt like I was like in an open field. I was on my exercise bike when I was listening to this album for the first time, so I was just like, I'm going there, I can make it.
Forrest Gump, just running.
Like
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. My favorite song on the album, though, is "I'm Rockin'." I think I really like that one, and I personally just love all the banjo within the album as well. Just spoilers for Billy Strings, like, mate, I fucking love the banjo. Like,
it's a glorious instrument. Honestly,
it's like an American mandolin.
To the Billy Strings. I only listened to the Billy Strings party recording that you told me to listen to. Does it have banjo in the recorded version?
Yeah, in the proper version it does.
Didn't know that.
But yeah. Anyway.
I nearly did Earl Scruggs as my single for this episode, and he's probably like the world's most famous banjo player. And could have done some fucking amazing banjo stuff, but with Billy Strings instead.
Wait, what's his name? Earl what?
Earl Scruggs. Possibly the most
It's a very caveman name.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want an absolute banjo jam, look up Foggy Mountain Breakdown by Earl Scruggs and Friends, and then it's him and all of his fucking mates, and they all come in and they do their solos on the different instruments. It's like a 7-minute fucking banger.
All right. Well, I've added something. I don't know if it is that, but I added it. Oh dear. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything else to say?
I haven't really said that much. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I was on a bus on my way into town, so I was just watching the landscape pass me by when I was listening to this. I think probably my favorite song was "I'm Southern" because it was just such a strong opening to the album, and it was very catchy, and it was maybe the cheesiest song on the album. I enjoyed that a lot, but yeah, it's interesting. I was trying to break down the country rock, like what part of it is country and what part of it is rock equation, and I find it quite hard to separate the two. It's a bit like you listen to folk metal, it's like folk
folk is like the folk
metal
instruments, right?
Yeah, with like metal tone on top of it, and I guess I would say this is like, it's like country music but with like a rock tone on top of it, and obviously more complicated like influences than that.
Yeah,
but
I definitely utilized the ability to use subgenres in this thing you do. I wanted to choose these guys for a while anyway, and this was like my chance. And I don't particularly know why I wanted to choose them. I personally think they're quite unique. Like, even though you do have bands like Blackstone Cherry and the like, I'm yet to discover a band that sounds like this, because even Blackstone Cherry doesn't have like banjo in the background or something. He's just got a really thick Kentucky accent. These guys, I definitely think they're more country rock because of that banjo, because of the like Kyle said, the folk instruments. What makes folk metal is literally the folk instruments. If you take the flute out of Enspherum, then that's just metal. Like, so yeah. I think that's...
Yeah, I think partly as well, like, what I liked about them was how just happy they are. It's just happy music, and they're obviously really just proud to be what they are and just having a great time doing it. And it's a bit infectious, I found. I was just like, I couldn't really listen to this and be like annoyed by it. Might get bored of it eventually, but like
when
I like, I could.
Their accent is contagious as well. Like when after listening to these albums, I listened to everything in one day because I thought we were doing CHUBcast a while back, and for like 3 days straight after that, I was just like talking like a Southerner. Howdy, Claire. It's just so contagious. But guys, we are Southern, and it's not our fault too. You know?
Yeah.
I think we should do a punk.
I
think we should cover this song, but have like a really Queen speak English, like, because I am Southern and I'm not it's not my fault.
My daddy's from Lewis, and it's not my and I like the hot sauce.
My daddy from Lewis, and I don't like the hot sauce.
It's too much for me. Yeah. It's too much for my palate. I feel like that would be funny if we did it, but it was like the fact that we're punk, but also we're like from like a stereotypical posh area, so it's like, if we try and rectify the shot to our credibility and the fact that Ben's singing with his Cockney accent when he's doing punk songs, it's just like, it's not our fault. Please,
it's not our fault we sound like this. It's not my fault. Tikka masala is way too hot.
I mean,
I can't eat tangy Doritos. Anyway, so yeah, like, I don't know. Final thoughts. Chuck him in and do a rating. Let's go.
I was very interested to see that this band has a lap guitar player.
Oh,
something you don't see very often, which is like a slide guitar, and you lie it down on your lap and you play it like this.
Oh wow!
And you have a slide on your
finger,
fretting
right?
hand. Yeah. So it's a bit like they use it in like Hawaiian music. So it'd be like.
Is it actually different to a normal guitar?
Yeah. When you buy a lap guitar, they're normally square, I think.
Doesn't Double D play one of them in Ed and Eddie?
Yeah, he does.
Mm.
He goes like, and he plays like a country song.
But there's always like is it like the little metal thing they hold with like a finger?
It's like a little tube you put over your finger.
Yeah, it's not exclusively like you can use it on a normal guitar. That's just called a slide. But a lap guitar has a bit of a different tone, and you always play it with a slide. But blues players use slides as well. But yeah, it's just funny. You don't see lap guitars very often in like actual bands. So that was interesting.
Pretty cute.
There you go.
That is cool. Oh, I like that.
I also saw that they'd played Download one year apparently.
Well, a year that we were there.
It was on their Wikipedia page that they'd played Downloads. I'm not sure what year.
Oh. I mean, statistically, it could be a year that we went. Mind you, I would have gone and seen them, so probably not.
Cadillac 3.
These guys have been on my radar since like 2015 or something. 14.
2017.
I don't think we went there yet. I can't remember, to be honest. Time is a thing that's happening around us. Oh dear, I fucking love this album, man.
Who headlined?
After this album, I went on their Apple Music and I discovered that this album is not actually in like their most famous songs areas like at all. It's like most of their later albums have like more famous songs that obviously actual fans that listen to the band more often listen to the most. So after listening to Tennessee Mojo, I deep dove into like their like catalog a bit more because I was like, hang on, I thought this was like their shit, but apparently they've got other stuff that is more popular and it's good and I like it. I'm just gonna chuck it. I don't care. You know what? We're mixing things up this episode. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 personally. I've listened to it about 4. I literally, genuinely, this Chub episode has made me realize that I'm a country boy. So I love it so much. I like today, because we're probably just today I was just listening to country for about 4 hours while I was doing some like Etsy stuff. Oh dear, this has started some kind of snowball. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. I genuinely loved it. I love singing along to songs. Like that's probably my most important thing in music is the hook, and I love singing along to songs. And like, there's hooks. This is hook central. So I'm like doing the washing up, of course, just like, cause I'm serving and it ain't my phone. Just like while I'm cleaning a fork. So it's brilliant. Greg, what are you saying?
Do I have anything else to add? I also really enjoyed it. I was already a big country boy. I normally mostly listen to like bluegrass acoustic sort of more stuff like Billy Strings or El Scruggs or like Steven Seagulls.
Claire likes them.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, I need to get more into the country rock side of things because if it's all like this, I quite enjoy it. I did get a little bit sort of done by the third sort of like after about 2/3 of the way through the album. I was like, okay, getting like waiting for the end now. But I never like got bored. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Full of energy. I like they're very sassy. I thought they had a lot of sass packed into this.
You don't know me.
I will give it.
You're not bad.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh,
Nearly a 0.5.
oh, nearly a 0.5.
Oh.
Why didn't you give it a 0.5?
I just couldn't. Wrong.
It wasn't allowed. I thought it was okay. It wasn't like, and for me, like considering I don't generally like country music, that's pretty good. Yeah, I did feel like it went on a bit too long, and there was a couple songs where I was like, okay, I get the point now, and I skipped to the end because I was like, I feel like I've heard this song now. I don't need to listen to the rest of it. I thought that my initial thought on I'm Southern, I thought it sounded a lot like that Borderlands song, that No Rest for the Wicked song. All right, no rest for the wicked.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know that one.
Trees. That song. It sounds like that. Yeah. So it's all right. I like that song. So I was gonna say, is there a legal requirement for every country singer to sound like this? Are there any country singers with like upstate New York accents?
Walk in here.
Yes.
Because I'm northern. It ain't my fault. Oh no! Yes, I don't
feel
know.
like it has the. I feel like it's a requirement. I feel like you can't do country music without a drawl.
But there must be English, like, country bands, like American style country bands. What
Yeah,
do
but I bet
do?
they put the
voice.
voice on. Yeah. I had to do a bit more research. But either way, I thought went on a bit too long. Oh, Greg, you've suddenly gone very echoey. I think your noise suppression's turned itself off.
Oh. Well, keep talking anyway, Carl. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was okay. It doesn't actively bother me like most country music does. I mean, yeah. I didn't favourite any of it. I probably wouldn't voluntarily listen to it, but I can't complain. So it's a solid 5 for me. It's straight down the middle. It's okay. It's average.
You know, I am surprised. I'm surprised that you didn't hate it. As soon as I put it on, because I hadn't listened to them in a while, and I just said him like, "'Cause I was just like, man, I don't know if Kyle's gonna like it."
I listened to it in a bad mood as well, and I still didn't hate it. So that must be a sign.
Damn. It's basically a 10.
Yeah.
No, it's still a
What a
5.
good day.
Yeah, it goes off what Greg was saying about how you can't listen to this in a bad mood. Like, even if you are already in a bad mood and you hate country, you're like, oh, give me a reason to be angry, you southerners. And he's like, it's all right, just drink a beer and let the good times roll. And you're like, no,
Whiskey.
I'm angry.
I like whiskey. Yes, I thought it was good. My final thoughts are, it just sounded like southern rock, like classic country southern rock. Rain makes corn makes whiskey, kind of music. Like it's just one of those things. I would say out of anything, it wasn't anything I haven't heard before. That's not necessarily like a dig. Like they're just very consistent.
Well, that's weird because I said that they were really unique. So
I've definitely heard like this kind of country rock before for sure.
Oh, like who?
Like Cage the Elephant, like Kyle mentioned.
Oh,
like
I'm gonna need to write that down.
I've got a list of.
Do you reckon they're as stereotypical country as this? I find that they're more of just like a rock band, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
it's a rock band with like they have like the country sound, but I don't know. I still think that they thematically they're not playing up to the country like I'm serving and I like whiskey kind of shit. But they still sound the same.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I mean, maybe I haven't listened to like as much country as like in general, but like literally like this whole album, and then when I also played one of the singles by Billy, what's his face?
Billy Strings.
Yeah, it sounded exactly the same to me, and I was like, oh, this is country and southern music. Like,
see, when I said like unique, I meant like electric guitar and southern drone, because to me, Cadillac 3 and Billy Strings are very different. But
yeah.
I guess it's like what level you want to look at it on. It's a bit like when me and you look at hip hop, Zach, and I'll be like, "Oh, this guy does this totally differently from that," but to you, it kind of sounds the same.
There you are. You see,
it's like the more you like a certain subgenre of something, the more you can obviously tell like the tiny differences.
Like using distortion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very tiny difference.
So, I mean, it is a small difference, like to a degree. Again, it's not a dig. I'm not having a go. I'm literally just saying it. it doesn't sound completely unique, but that's not a bad thing. It's literally fine.
And for the record, I'm not mad or anything. I'm just like, I just wanted to know why you didn't think it was unique, and I know now. So there you are.
Yeah. So, but yeah, my favorite songs were definitely like the first lot. So Back It Up, and can't remember what the other one was called.
Back it up, back it
The one
up.
where he got buzzed.
Get your buzz on.
Get your buzz on. And I'm Southern, and like all of the like the sort of first 3/4 of the album was basically all pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Oh.
Mm.
No. Well then. And there you have it. If you're listening at home, let us know what you thought about the Cadillac 3 and Tennessee Mojo in the comments section, and we will read out your comment in the next episode. Billy Strings. Billy Strings. Greg,
Billy Strings.
you chose Billy Strings. Oh god.
Did.
You chose Billy Strings.
You did this.
I'm back.
Did. We good?
I'm back. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, I chose Billy Strings. Modern guitar legend. I'm not sure exactly when he rose to kind of notoriety, but he has been picked up in a large way by the guitar community. He's played with many, country legends in particular, but I've seen him playing with like Tommy Emmanuel, who is one of the greats of all time. He's been touring around doing all the big guitar festivals and country festivals in America. This is his most famous song for sure. I don't know if it was the YouTube video that sort of got it going viral or whether that came afterwards, but it's become quite well known now, that video that I recommended of him playing at a house party. And yeah, he's just extremely good at guitar. And he's got a really like yeehaw voice, and it complements quite well. I will do one of his full albums on the show eventually because they are really, really good. Especially it's called Turmoil and Tinfoil. It's really,
Yeah, I think I have seen it.
Yeah, smashing album.
It sounds like it's more about meth. Is he like just a straight up meth head, or?
I don't actually know.
He doesn't look like one. He's quite young.
He's pretty.
And it's newer. I don't know. Have you seen any pictures of what he looks like now? He looks a bit.
Well, I'm looking at him right now in his Apple Music profile picture, and he just looks like a bloke.
Generally looks pretty clean cut. Maybe though. I mean, this song is about meth.
He looks very different than he did in the video, anyway.
I mean, heck, we're writing a song
shaggy.
about bar fights, and I've never been in a bar fight.
Yeah, true. I was going to say, like, one of the things, like, if anything, modern day hillbillies probably relate a lot more to meth than alcohol anyway.
You're not wrong.
In a funny way, they've gone a bit psychedelic, I think, hillbillies. Like, you see some pictures of Billy Strings, and he's, like, really tripped out, and he's got some really trippy songs as well. There's another band that I saw, and it was on Reddit being introduced as psychedelic country, like as the genre, called Susto, and they're very trippy as well. So maybe that's like a new country subgenre that's happening.
They're all just there getting fucked up on like benzos and all the crazy painkillers they get and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you think of this song? You were talking, Carl. What did you think?
Yeah, well, yeah. He do play that guitar good. I thought, yeah, this was the best thing we listened to for this episode, for sure. Mostly because I can appreciate the guitar chops. And I didn't really remember any of the hooks or choruses of anything else we listened to. But this song, they're like, I use my phone call to call my daddy. 20 old years for this dear Biggie.
Yeah, that chorus has been in my head all day, and Claire's like, please stop singing that.
That's so good. And where he's just like, this life of sin has got me in. Back in prison once again.
So good.
But yeah, it was a slapper. I showed it to my parents today as well, and they all enjoyed it as well. So I say they all enjoyed it because I mean, as in like my parents and my sister and bro and stuff. And they all thought it was really cool.
All five of
So,
your
yeah.
parents.
All five of my parents. They're all, my parents are in a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, your parents and your sister, who is also your parents.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm the hillbilly.
Sister wife.
Hey, check a load of this guy. Oh,
We only got one thumb.
he's amazing though. Still, it's like the drummer from Def Leppard with one arm, and he's still fucking incredible. But Billy Strings does have two thumbs, so I guess it's not like him at all. But I don't know. Can I just jump in? Like with this fucking music video, you're like, he's just sitting in like some like really poor looking living room. Like the wallpaper looks jank and shit, and it's like a dodgy sofa and a really old TV. And he's just got this guitar, and you can hear his mates go, "Hey, play that new song that you wrote." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm just sitting there like, the fuck? That's amazing. And then
you can tell he's trashed as well. He looks, he like, because they're like, play that new song, and he's there like, what do you mean? And he starts playing, and he's like a wizard.
He doesn't even like look at the guitar when he's playing. He doesn't even, and he's singing. Like, he just doesn't even look like it's hard, and that's just obviously a trait of a great guitarist. Is just doing it without even breaking a sweat. And like this guy amazed me. I immediately like added him on Apple Music and listened to like the actual recording, and very pleasantly surprised to see that he added a fiddle to the actual recording, which is really cool. And today, when I said I was listening to country for 4 hours, I was actually listening to Billy Strings for 4 hours.
Oh, let's go!
I listened to all of Home and all of Turmoil and Tinfoil, and I listened to his latest song, The Great Divide, which is pretty good. And yeah, I really liked it. Greg, what have you done?
What did you think of Taking Water? I think it's the first song on Turmoil and Tinfoil. That's probably his other favorite song of mine.
Yeah, I really
actually
liked
goes to some really like poignant lyrics about like the state of society and stuff. I was quite surprised.
Yeah. I mean, he's like really political. He's not like all about meth and shit. It's actually like that's the one song that's about meth. The rest is all about obviously the Great Divide, which is like the divide in the country, and a lot of political songs. It's actually quite good shit.
A lot of what Home is about as well is like feeling like his home is changing and trying to understand where the country's going, and also
I liked Away from the Mire as well. But Home had like an amazing fiddle section. It didn't sound like a fiddle. It sounded more like the difference between a violin and a fiddle, like the bit in between. It was really cool. But yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you listened to more. He's so good.
Oh dear. Ben, what are you saying?
Yeah, I liked this song. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't genuinely really, maybe because I wasn't like actively like taking down notes and researching or anything, but like when I listened to the song, kind of flew over me a little bit, and I was just like, oh, that was a pleasant experience, but that was kind of it. Like I liked the guitar, and like he had a really nice voice and everything, but like I feel like after, to be fair, I did listen to it like straight after listening to the Cadillac 3. So like it was just like country on top of country on top of country. So it kind of melded a little bit, and like a lot of the nuances that I could have appreciated were probably lost because I was just listening to everything in a bulk. Which kind of, I guess that's probably going to happen with any of these like genre CHUBcast episodes, unless they're like wildly different within their subgenres.
Yeah.
So like, but it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. I really liked it, and I've like saved it as well because I was like, oh yeah, I bopped along. Could not for the life of you remember any of the lyrics or anything. But like, yeah, it was nice. It wasn't bad at all. But yeah, again, like I think maybe after this episode, even from my own album suggestion, like I'm not like a huge country rock / southern rock fan. I'm just like it's good, but that's like basically the limit. Like I'm not like an emphatic fan or anything, so which is fine.
You're lukewarm, like I am to hip hop, I guess.
Like, slightly more than it's definitely slightly more than lukewarm. Like I'm
All right,
I'm like
simmering.
a nice bath. I'm a nice comfortable bath that's been. Like a bath you wouldn't run for like your girlfriend, a bath you would run for like your child. So not like boiling hot, but not
Mate,
comfortable.
I had a bath before this podcast and I got in it without testing it and I just went like shit was fucking freezing. No, it was boiling. It was boiling. It was fucking boiling, man. Like you could literally see my skin going red. It was great though.
How did you manage it? I haven't had a bath in so long, but every time I used to take a bath, it's always you feel it in your balls before you even get in.
Well, no, I just kind of jump in. I just kind of jump in.
Mate.
Just got a dive bomb.
Yeah. Literally. I
balls
just
get used to it after a little while.
If your balls won't feel it, if like your entire feet to arse is in it as well. Dear. Anyway, I love baths, but Billy String.
It's thumbs up from me.
Yeah, it's a thumbs up for me too.
How did we get to baths? Anyway, Billy String. Thumbs up. Oh dear. Should we go straight into Yellow River Boys? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yellow River Boys. This was
Kyle's
recommendation.
Was my choice, but I was first forced at gunpoint to pick it.
Yeah. So Kyle, tell us about the Yellow River Boys.
Well, they are truly an enigma. I tried my best to research them. I wanted to know whether they practice what they preach, whether they're truly water sports connoisseurs, but I wasn't able to.
I solved this mystery.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Do you want the spoiler?
Yeah.
They are not serious. It's Tim from Tim and Eric.
Oh, from Tim and Eric.
Apparently so.
Wait, who's Tim and Eric?
Yeah.
They're like a comedy duo?
Yeah, they do have like a comedy show. They do a lot of parodies. And apparently this is he's called like Tim Heidecker or something.
Oh.
It's his project, apparently. And it is all a joke.
That
they
makes
just took
a lot of sense.
all the way.
Yeah,
See, that makes me feel better.
34-minute country song about piss.
Just drinking it.
Bathing in it. Hot piss.
Yeah, we should probably explain for the audience, like the album is called Urinal Street Station. And it's entirely about just drinking wee.
Yeah, the entire album's about piss.
I feel like we've done country a disservice by picking.
I mean, Hot Piss is one of the catchiest songs we did today, so, take that how you will.
Oh my god, it does make me laugh like immediately.
Down my lips. It's just so catchy.
It's hot piss on the tip of my lips, dribbling down my chin. To waste
you'd be
it,
listening
it'd be
to
a
it in
sin.
the library, and your headphones would come unplugged. And you'd be like, "No."
Yeah, I wasn't. Seriously, I wasn't listening to a song about drinking piss. I swear. Sorry, officer.
They have a greatest hits, and it's literally or just the tracks off of the one album they have. I just looked. 10 songs. 10 songs. It's literally in the same order as well.
That's amazing.
Starts with hot piss, ends with hot piss, drink
Came
it.
out this year.
Hot piss, drink it. That's amazing.
That's so good. The thing is, like, this... We were listening to a load of country on the way to Shropshire, and I was just sitting there like, we chose Hot Piss, and there's like, sorry for any country fans out there, yeah. Even all the classics. But at the same time, this song is fucking hilarious, and I'm glad it exists. And yeah, I found this band through Simon of the Yogscast. It was one of their shows. Their chatty one, I can't remember what it's called, but he was just like, "Hey Lewis, I found a band the other day," and Lewis was like, "Yeah, it's a country band that sings about piss," and I just had to immediately look it up.
What a masterpiece! I'm kind of sad it is a bit, because I would have preferred the air of mystery, because like not knowing if it was legit, who these people were, where the fuck this came from, why they decided to make a whole album about piss, and not just about piss, but like drinking piss, and like I like the tracks on this album have beautiful names like Honky Tonk Piss Club, Slurp It Up, Piss Me Off. Is Mr. Mud about poo? Is Mr. Mud like a different one?
Oh, that's a question.
I haven't actually listened to the whole album.
Is Mr. Mud about poo?
There's no lyrics for it, because there's a famous Townes Van Zandt song called Mr. Mud and Mr. Gold. Yellow River Boys.
Maybe it's a cover. Hot piss drinker. Piss pig freak. Someone to piss on me.
Yeah, someone to piss on me is like a ballad about getting pissed on.
I remember when I showed you this, Greg, and your face was just like, I genuinely don't know what to make of this.
I was amazed. It was I don't know what it's like. It's an amazing discovery when you get shown this band. It's like Carl was saying, like the mystery is just you just want to know why.
I need to know who did this. I'd love to just play this like at a party or something. If people weren't paying attention, you play it and you see who's the first person to notice what's actually happening.
And if no one notices, you just play it again.
Yeah, just play it over and over. Like, why does the song keep playing?
Yeah,
and they finally listen to the chorus. Hot piss.
It just makes me laugh.
Play it over and over and over. Yeah, it's a good one, and it's actually very catchy, and yeah, it's quite well written, all things considered.
Yeah, I listened to this song after Billy Strings, and it was definitely like one of the big standouts from today because it was just so catchy, and I was just like, oh, it's so gross.
Dribbling down my chin. Oh.
What was it like? Well, the first verse is like drinking sweet apple juice. Then I whip out my dick and I feel it back up. I need to listen to the other songs. See if
so good.
This is
We should
whimsical.
have just recommended the whole album.
Yeah. Anyway,
I love the fact that if you just kind of ignore the lyrics, it's a perfectly passable country song.
yeah, he's got a good voice. Well
Mate.
produced. The guitar works good. That's just about pissing.
How much do you reckon that really piss you off if you're like a mediocre country band and you're like struggling? Then you just see this and you're like, I can't make music this good.
Like, why bother?
Yeah.
I've been usurped by fucking Tim and Eric. By songs about drinking piss.
Yeah, I guess you could say the same about like any parody. Like, I'm sure maybe there's some metal fans out there or metal musicians that are like really proggy and they're trying to break into the scene, and then there's shit like Austrian Death Machine. Like they're just singing about Arnie, and then that's like 10 times more popular than the other thing.
Do you reckon there's like serious glam bands who are like pissed off with Steel Panther? Because
I was actually
Steel
about to say
Panther
that.
just
Yes,
take the
there
piss.
is. There's a lot of glam bands that don't like Steel Panther because they're big, and it's like, fuck you, man. I know you, but like, there's like a level of respect because they're obviously amazing guitar instrumentists. I'll go with that. And they were just, but like, it's also just like, fuck you.
Try harder, loser.
I know that Tommy Lee fucking hates them.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess they kind of take the piss out of us Motley Crue.
Mm. But like he said, they hated. He said he hated them like 11 years ago. So I doubt he really cares anymore.
Yeah, I doubt it. Watching his like fucking Instagram where he's just speedboating with his model wife and shit.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Why would he give a fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it a thumpy dumpy uppy.
It's a thumb right down my urethra.
Yeah, it's a bit upsetting that there's no sounding song, but maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed for the next album.
Sounding,
we are due a new Yellow River Boys album. It's been 8 years, so hopefully soon.
Well, the greatest hits came out. Maybe they've returned to it.
No.
Well, we've got a second album to talk about. Ben, would you like to take the lead?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, class.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Hello, Mr.
Did everyone
Hart.
enjoy the weekend?
Good morning,
Yes.
Ben. Good morning, friend.
Morning, Ben.
Good morning,
Morning, Ben.
everyone.
Grab yourself a cup of Morning Ben.
It's just me stuffed into a mug, like.
Morning Ben is great. You put him in a cup. Anyway, continue.
This is a band called Dash Rip Rock. They are a trio from New Orleans, I think it's.
I think they're from Italy.
Shut up.
They call Dash Rip and Rock. Is that why?
Yeah, is it like Snap, Crackle, and Pop?
Yeah, the names of Dash Rip Rock. And yeah, they're basically, they've been going on for like 20 years. Their lead guitarist and singer Bill Davies has been doing music for basically his whole life. And they are
Mate.
southern punk.
I need to stop you right there because their first album was in '86, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, and 20 years ago was 2001.
And they've still only got 18,000 monthly listeners.
Fucking go.
They
They've been
have not
Now you've-
updated their bio in 15 years. Then.
Yeah.
That's punk, man.
That's so punk.
Fuck
Just saying,
bios.
yeah.
Oh, that's so
We started 20 years ago, fucking 15 years ago. Anyway, yeah, these guys have been going on for obviously quite some time. They're southern punk, or like southern rock / cow punk. I think the term was coined with them as one of like the lead cow punk bands amongst, I think, 3 others that I could find that got notoriety. So yeah, a bit of a niche
crossover.
one. And yeah, it's a good time all around. What did you think, Greg?
I thought it was okay. Didn't quite like jive with it as much as Cadillac 3, and I don't really know why though, because I listened to this one first. I guess it was I was expecting more of like an interesting fusion of genres, like, but they weren't as sort of original, I guess, as I was expecting. Like, I didn't really hear much punkness.
Yeah.
It was really just country rock, as far as I could tell. And like, I looked them up as well, and the reviews were like, watch out for the blistering guitar solos and high energy rock sound. And I don't know, they had that bass line where it's like dun 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 dun, and just like really stereotypical country motifs. And I don't know, I was just a little bit unimpressed, I guess. Like, I didn't find they were doing anything massively original, but it was still fine. It was like perfectly enjoyable middle of the road country music for me. It was like something you would hear on the radio, I thought.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Like, I've got, by the way, this is a band I literally found for this review. I've got no attachments at all, so I'm very happy for everyone to slate it. I don't give a fuck. Like, which I'm gonna agree with you, because when I went into it, I was expecting it to consistently be like cowpunk, like because that's how it was kind of advertised for me when I was looking it up and trying to find like a loophole around the country thing.
Ben, when you say, what did you think this was going to be when you saw the word cowpunk?
I thought it was going to just be a bit more, like just a bit more cowpunk than what was offered.
What does that mean?
More,
Just a bit
like,
more
I don't know,
cowpunk.
More Johnny Rotten.
just a bit more like itself.
Just a bit more.
For me, I think the way I would put it is, I feel like it's not really like a fusion of country and punk. It's like there are some punk songs on this album, and there are some country songs on this album.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I was expecting more crossover and more like interplay between the genres, but it's just "Bum for Egypt" is a punk song, and "String You" and "Jolie" is a country
song.
ballad.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Betty, which apparently has 0 plays on Spotify. It doesn't even have plays displayed.
How is that possible? We played it.
Yeah, it should at least have 4. In fact,
It's not even displaying anything.
I've listened to this album at least 5 times.
But I feel like it didn't meld the genres. It was just here's some punk, here's some country.
I think that's what I meant in the way that like I wanted more cowpunk because I wanted more fusion and less. We're gonna do some of this and some of that and like shuffle it all together in an album kind of thing.
It's kind of similar to what Tim said about the Kissing Dynamite and Baseball's cover, not cover, song, where it's just kind of back and forth.
Sure.
Like
it's not like an actual mix. Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's exactly it. You're goddamn right. The issue I had was like, I felt like it was all average punk and average country. Nothing really stood out to me on this album. Like, it was all just pretty meh. I don't remember any of it, to be honest. I took some notes and I was just like, there's not really much to say. Like, "Bum for Egypt" is just sounds like every other like American punk song, but it was like kind of, I guess it was slightly more thrashy than straight up punk. But even still, I don't remember anything of it. It was pretty forgettable. It wasn't bad. Again, it's not bad, but it's just nothing special at all. Like nothing memorable. But I will say what was bad though was fucking their Christmas song on here, which is like, for fuck's sake, "Christmas in El Paso." It's like you didn't have to do that.
That was not necessary at all.
I hate Christmas songs and I hate country, so it's like a cursed fusion.
Christmas songs need to be confined to their own album, so you can like choose to listen to them or not. You can't just put it in a normal album.
Yeah, that is disgusting behavior.
That's definitely a skipper. I agree. That song fucking sucked.
I also really didn't like "Little Girl Blue." It was like just slow country. It was
that was the one I hated.
Tug at your heartstrings, and I was just like, please.
I personally skipped all the slows. Not skipped. I listened to the whole album, but upon revisiting a few times throughout the month, I did skip the slower tracks because I think slow punk songs suck. Like, there's the Ramones have like a bunch of slow punk songs, and apart from a couple like Poison Heart, which is a fucking banger, there's some absolute trash fucking slow Ramones songs. And people like them. I don't think they do, but they play them live, or they used to when they were alive. But I always skip them, and same with this. Like whenever a slow number came on, I skipped it personally.
Yeah, I think the only slow Ramones song that I remember / like remotely is "Baby I Love You," just because it's catchy. But that's the only one I like, really. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I've also got the note. Just some songs are more country, some songs are more punk. But like, I'm gonna be. Well, I say I'm gonna be the good guy, but like, I thought the album started off pretty weak. "Bum for Egypt," I didn't really like. But like the song "Rich Little Bitch" is so catchy. Rich little bitch, why got to go? I really like that one. I remember you put it on the in the car, Ben, on the way to Shropshire, and I was like, I remember saying like, this doesn't sound very country, but obviously we've established that it kind of back and forths because yeah, and the frontman singing is very reminiscent for me of CJ Ramone, which is the new bassist after Dee Dee left. They had like 2 or 3 albums towards the end of their career. It was a younger bassist that they brought in, and it kind of like revitalized the band a bit because he just, I guess, brought more like new sounds, kind of like what the new bloke from Judas Priest is doing, the young one. And like CJ has like just got a very similar sounding voice to this, and it's very punky, and I love it. Like all the songs that he sings in, I really like. So I really like the punky, like kind of punchy vocals in this album personally, and especially in Rich Little Bitch. That's so sick. And
yeah, for sure.
Another thing I personally really liked is the bass. Like in what would be otherwise a very empty slot of like just riffing with no singing, just guitar and drums, you've got like a bass line which when it like leans away from the which I love as well, but like when it goes outside away from that, it's just got like this bassist is just going crazy on the bass, and it's just adds that level of like, oh, that would have been really boring had that bassist not gone like for like no reason there. So
yeah,
I really liked that. But now,
when are you going to start going, Zach?
When I get good. So anyway, but
so now,
oh dear. And I think that's pretty much like. Oh yeah, I wrote. I can't believe they wrote a song about stringing up and playing a guitar. That's weird.
String you up.
Yes.
That was,
Just going off my like new thing of like taking sex songs really literally. It's so funny. You're just like, why is he like stringing up a guitar? Don't need to write a song about that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Why is he singing to a guitar?
How could you write the song? You're still stringing up the guitar.
But I specifically remember in that song he like wrote lyrics where it was just like, if I could make love to my guitar, I would, or something like that.
Oh, yeah. If I could take it to bed, I would. These guys absolutely do not take themselves seriously. I mean, their biggest hit, their number one hit, is a song called "Let's Smoke Some Pot," which I would highly recommend you guys listen to after this song. Literally, after this podcast, it's like a minute and a half song. And it is literally just a song about smoking pot, and then they have.
Let's go smoke some pot.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like that's like, and it wasn't on this album, unfortunately. It was on like, I think it's only like on their.
It's on an album called Hits and Giggles.
Hits and Giggles, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, because it's their like greatest hits.
It's pretty funny actually that song has nearly 1 million listens.
Yeah,
but their second highest listens is like 54K. It's like, Jesus.
They must have like played on like a TV show or something, or like Jackass or something.
It's probably also
really
in like a playlist somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Knowing Spotify. But no, I like to throw my 2 cents in here. For me, from listening to the album, like, because I've listened to it quite a number of times to because it was one of those things where like I found a new band and I really wanted to like love them, and to a degree I really like the punkier songs, all like the faster ones, like Bum for Egypt, Rich Little Bitch, String You Up, Rattle Trap, like Rattle Trap.
Oh yeah, Rattle
like
Trap's
the
a
last
sick song.
And the last song, I Don't Want to Stop as well. Like all of those are like really good, and I've saved all of them because they're just like so like high octane and catchy. But like the country songs on this album are genuinely awful. Like they are awful. Like I literally like when I was listening to like the slow ones, there's literally 3 in a row. I think it's literally Jolie, Promenade, and Betty, all one after another, and it is the most grueling experience I've had to listen to for country.
The longest 9 minutes of your life.
Yeah, if I had to listen to a whole album like that, I would have literally given it like a 1, or like a half.
Yeah, they were painful.
I understand how Kyle feels in regards to like if it was like that, because slow country is just it's so bad.
It's so
like and I feel like, and that's what I meant before, where I felt a bit disappointed in a way that it was less like country punk fusion and more we're going to do some punk songs, we're going to do some country songs, and then we're going to make an album sort of thing, which is a shame because like fusion is obviously the way to go because it's interesting rather than kind of collaborative like this album was. But you know, like, but the songs that were on there that were good, in my opinion, fucking slapped hard, and the songs that I didn't like really, really sucked. So because of that, like huge distance between the songs kind of brought it mostly to like a middle ground for me. And you know, because it is, at the end of the day, it is like super enjoyable when it's good, and it's horrible when it's not.
Oh,
Which is such a shame.
Yeah.
So you
I've saved all the songs that I like.
You liked the punk part, but you didn't like the cow part.
The punk part slapped like all the time. Like even like obviously like the single that I mentioned before. Like I listened to that like loads because it's just so like, oh, it's like you could dance to it, and like all of the punky songs on this album, like again, are really, really good, and like formula wise, you know, I've been sort of taking some notes in regards to like, oh, this sounds good. Maybe I'll like think of this in the future when writing future songs and stuff. But like the country, the really slow sort of like truly like I love my baby down south, and I like the sun and the shit like that. I'm like, oh fuck,
End my suffering.
like, yeah. It was such a shame. But you know, it's one of those things with an album. It's they can't all be zingers. And luckily this album did have at least 50% zingers. So kind of win for like a band I've never heard from before. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously were hoping for the next Chubby and the Gang or something.
Yeah. Oh.
The thing is, like,
feeling of finding a new band.
Punk is
so
at its
good.
best when it's really short. And
yeah, definitely.
yeah. So that's probably why that Smoke Pot song is like so good, because it's just a minute and a half long. There's no time to get bored because it's over before you know it. And I mean, that's personally why I got into punk, is because it was so short that I just wanted more. It didn't, if you know what I mean. Like if the songs were twice the length, I would have been like, okay, that was fine. Because the songs were so short, I was just like, I want to play it again. Oh, I want more. Yeah. Give me more, please.
It's like the difference between having like an average beer or like a really, really nice shot, like of like of something. You're just like,
craft ale.
Like some having
a shot of craft
having
ale.
some, having like a shot of Tawaka as opposed to having a Foster's or something. Like, you could drink a whole beer and you last it out, and it's a bit like, ugh, that was alright, I guess. Or you could just have a really nice like Fireball or something, but like, oh, that was spicy. Yeah, give me another. Or we get fucked up.
Absolutely.
So,
I like that. Ben, did you just do final thoughts? You might as well rate it.
No.
Fuck it.
I might, fuck it. I'm going to do final thoughts right now. Yeah, but like I said, like all of my favorite songs in this album were all the punky songs. Again, like I'm pretty sure that's half of them. That's Bum for Egypt, Under the Jail was good, Rich Little Bitch, String You Up, Rattle Trap, and I Don't Want to Stop, which is literally 6 songs out of 12. So there you go.
They really went straight for cowpunk.
They really, really did go cowpunk in the way that it was 50-50. So all those songs were fucking slappers, and all the rest of them, in my opinion, were not slappers.
Fucking crappers.
Yeah, they were crappers. Slappers and crappers and zingers and dingers. But
That'll be our greatest hits name. Slappers and Crap.
Slappers and Crap. Yeah, but either way, like the songs that were there were so good that it lifted it up from like a 5, definitely to like a 7 for me at least, because of that. But that's about it. Yeah. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, listen to it with you. Pretty forgettable. Didn't really feel any shiny, happy feelings about any of the punk songs. I was just like, it's okay. The only one I really remember is Rich Little Bitch, which is quite catchy, but I can't remember the rest of them at all. And I didn't do what I normally do and take notes per song, so it made it even harder. I just took general notes for the whole album. But yeah, I feel like I have more memory of the songs that I didn't like, which was the ballads, the Christmas song, than I do of the punk songs. So I feel like overall, it's slightly less than average experience. It was slightly more negative than average experience, so it's a 4 for me. I think if any of the country songs came on, I'd probably complain. And if any of the punk songs came on, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Sort of thing. So, yeah.
Nice.
Straddling the line. Go on, Greg.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty similar place to you. Like, I hated some of it, and other parts I was pretty meh. I will say the guitar was good in points. There were some, can't remember any specific bits, but I wrote down that it was a bit Chuck Berry-ish at certain points, which is quite enjoyable. Yeah. It felt a lot longer than 35 minutes for the whole album. Not a massively positive experience overall. I am also going to give it a 4 out of 5, but like you, if the faster songs came on, I'd be like, oh, sorry, 4 out of 10.
I fucking loved it.
0.4 out of 5. Yeah, no, if some of the faster songs came on, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, if bloody Little Girl Blue came on at House Party, I'd be like, nah.
Skip that shit.
Who's got the orcs, you fuck?
Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, like, thing is, like, I really did like this album, but like, like you guys, or Ben in particular, I thoroughly enjoyed the punk songs. But yeah, I skipped the country songs, which I didn't realize I did, but I do. So I originally gave it an 8 out of 10. So I've listened to this album like 5 or 6 times since first listening to it, and I really liked it, but then I realized that I skipped like half of it. But like, of course, like Ben, the songs that are good, I really, really like Rich Little Bitch and Rattle Trap are genuinely really good songs in my opinion. Like, I fucking love shit like that. Just fast paced, punky, smash a beer on your head, have a party kind of music is like up there. The old Zachy boy. And so I'm just going to bring it down to a 7 out of 10. And like I said, like, I really like the bass in this album. I mean, I personally have never heard punk with so something new for me. Yeah. Like, it's almost as if he was standing there with a double bass, but so something I personally not heard before. It's like a boom, 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 boom. So good. I want a double bass.
That'd be so cool.
I don't know where I'd put it, but I'd find a place for the bass. Anyway,
find a bass place.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Did we get anyone commenting? We did not get. No, we
had a comment from Andrew Branch, I believe,
on the new one.
What was the last episode? It was Periphery in that, right?
Periphery.
It was Periphery.
Yeah, because he mentioned Billy Strings, I remember.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah, he did. He said,
review, but...
Are you guys ready to read it out?
Yeah, go for it.
He said, ooh, Billy Strings is a good shout. You should also give Tyler Childers a listen. Nose on the Grindstone is a gut-wrencher of a tune. It is also
Tyler
True
what, sorry?
to Blues. Tyler Childers.
Childers. Okay.
Yeah, the song Nose on the Grindstone.
Added. Let's have a go.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
It is also true to blues and folk inspired a classic country, rather than that radio piss that all the Karens and Kens in our flyover states call music. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm afraid that's what I think of when I think of country music, Andy. That's the reason why I'm not a big fan.
Have you guys heard Bo Burnham's country song?
No.
Oh, the one
I
where
haven't watched
it's
it,
just like stereotypical.
Yeah.
My truck. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, and now I'm gonna kind of say some rapey vibes, but my southern drone will make it sound pretty sexy and stuff like that. Y'all motherfuckers ready for a key change? And I'm saying I'm pandering. I'm singing in Mandarin. It's so good. I love Bo Burnham. Have you guys seen his new show on Netflix?
I've seen the new one. I saw the last one.
It came out recently. It was just him in one room, an hour and a half, and he just writes song. Oh, he wrote a comedy show over the pandemic, and it is gut wrenching. And I'm genuinely worried he's going to top himself, but it's really funny as well.
Sounds good. Sounds really funny.
They call the best comedy shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's like eye-opening, but he
said it's
takes the
good.
piss out of it, if you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
eye-opening and funny, but kind of sad, but he takes the piss out of it, so it's kind of funny still. It's really cool. I'd recommend it. Anyway, Andrew Branch, sorry. Just kind of went on a tangent there about Bo Burnham.
No, I agree with what he said, though. Like, radio piss that all the Karens and Kens call it. Yeah, that's what I try to avoid. I'm curious to know, Andy, if you listened to either of these albums and what you thought of those as a cold-blooded American, and if you thought anything differently of it than we did. So let us know if you listened to this episode. But yeah, that was the comment we got for that episode.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, like I said, in every episode, write down in the comments, send us an email at chubtheband@gmail.com or use the hashtag chubsviews socials in the description. Just get involved. Listen to anything we've reviewed in the past. Anything. Just talk about anything that we've spoken about. And yeah, just write it and we'll read it out. We just want a community already. We've lost our mate Tim TB to the gym. So
He could be listening to our podcast at the gym.
yeah.
Traitor.
Oh dear. Well, what are we doing next week?
We got roll some dice.
Let's roll some dice.
Yeah.
Next week, we are just doing whatever we want because I feel like that's just the format of the show. Okay, there's no reason. Fuck you. Well, who's going?
I'll roll a d4. So
Yes.
Greg's number 1, I'm 2,
Oh, yeah.
Ben's 3, and Zach's 4.
Sick.
So we get
Let's go.
4, so Zach.
Oh my
And
God.
3, so Ben. So that means me and Greg have singles. Ben and Zach have albums.
Okay.
Which
Fuck.
is rough because I don't have any singles planned.
We pause the recording and take a moment.
Yeah, I think we should do
Yeah.
that. And
Okay.
we're back. We have actually chosen shit. We none of us were prepared. Greg, what album do you want to choose?
I'm doing a single.
He's doing a single.
Who's doing an album?
It's me.
Ben, what album do you want to choose?
Okay, so I've been wanting to do this one for a little while. Get everyone's opinions on it. It's super interesting. The lead vocalists and the lead backup vocalists are like some of my most like favorite vocalists like in modern day metal. And it's absolutely like they're definitely like one of my favorite new bands that have come out in the last few years or so. I mean, they've been around since I think like 2015, but I've only really found them since 2019. Easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite album from 2019. That was the year of my resurrection rebirth, and it just hit home. And it was fucking amazing. And we are listening to
Eternal Forward Motion by Employed to Serve.
yeah, that's it. Did you guess that? Get off my head!
Well, wait, really? How did you know that? Did you look at his phone?
I know that. I just know he really likes Employed to Serve, and you know that he really likes the lead and
Okay,
backup vocalist.
hold
And I
on.
knew that this album was from 2019.
Say that again. Employed to
It
serve.
is. The band is Employed to Serve, and the album is Eternal Forward Motion.
But I have heard you mention these guys many a time, so I'll be very interested because I've never listened.
I've not actually listened to this whole album yet. I listened to their previous album, which was Warmth of a Dying Sun, which is sick.
Yeah, One for the Dying Sun. To be honest, like from listening to not too many spoilers, but like all three of their albums, I've listened to all three of them, and I love all of them. I think like breaking into the mainstream metal industry was definitely like, if it wasn't the second album, it was this album, their third album that came out in 2019, and they have a new album coming out in September of this year.
Hooray!
Yeah, they just released a new single.
They released a new single called Exist recently, which was really, really good. So it feels appropriate to talk about them. They're up and coming.
Lovely.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I've got an album that, if I know Ben and his taste in music, is going to be the exact opposite of tone. And it is Permission to Land by The Darkness. Because I think these guys are one of the most underrated hard rock bands ever. Like, they should have way more listeners. And I think it might have something to do with them splitting up at their peak. So they kind of like plummeted, and then they've kind of tried to gain more momentum over time. But I mean, like their momentum that they're gaining over the past decade has been gradual, which is way more healthier than what actually happened to them with their first album, where they just kind of went, no one knows us, boom, we're famous, and it just fucked them up. So yeah, but this album, like, in my opinion, spoilers, 10 out of 10, fucking flawless rock album. But anyway,
Funny because my parents actually got tickets to see them at Nottingham Rock City the other day.
Really?
And me and Josh and Alex were joking in the car on the way back that what if they got ripped off and they just got tickets for Darkness instead? And they just go to Rock City and it's just a dark hall. They're just standing in the
You
dark.
wanted the darkness, you have it.
Yeah. Hey, yo, get the lights. Okay. Doom.
2 hours later.
Turn the
Pretty
lights
good.
back on.
Had a good
Here we
time.
are. Hope you enjoyed that. Look that shit in
Sweating
there.
afterwards, like,
Oh dear. Well, there you go. Permission to Land by The Darkness. I know for a fact it's one of Claire's top 10 favorite albums, and it's probably in my top 20. Spoilers.
It's already growing on me.
It's really growing on me.
cover.
It's really growing on me.
I'm just gonna say right now, because it might spoil one or the other. Do not listen to these albums back to back. Like, Zach was so right in that they are tone wise so fucking different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, one might ruin the other if you listen to it all at the same time. So give it a bit of room for the albums this episode.
Yeah. Give it some breathing.
Give it some breathing room.
Fuck yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway.
Singles.
Yeah, singles, boys.
My single is from a band that is also up and coming and also has a female vocalist. And we did a reaction to them.
Spirit
Box, yeah. They have a new album coming out soon also. This is the single off of that album, and it is Secret Garden. I've been listening to this song a lot recently. It's one of the poppier songs they've done, but still has those rock elements. They're really good.
What's
I very much
the
enjoy it.
song called?
It's called Secret Garden.
Secret Garden.
This was the band with the music video of the woman like tripping in the woods, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's just like the
it was
Midsummer
yeah.
turning
kind of,
into like a crazy
That's
witch
it, yeah,
lady,
that's the one.
Yeah, I remember.
the very pagan music video.
Yeah,
I love her in music videos all the time, because every time, like, her vocals are so good and so like harsh, but when she does it in the music video, she just looks like she's singing. So she's just going like that, but it's like
Nice.
it just looks so weird and jarring.
Yeah, it's really off-putting. Also, she's a guest vocals in a band that we also covered on this podcast, Make Them Suffer. They just released a new song with her on guest vocals for the chorus, which was Contraband.
Contraband, yeah.
Yeah, which is also a good song.
Nice. So she's getting her name out there. Awesome.
The web.
She's
The
doing
Chub
it.
Web.
Chub
Chub
Web.
They didn't sing about
Oh, and
fecal
then
demons
Grego.
though, so
Yeah.
My hastily selected single that I just picked at random is totally different. It's not rock or metal. It is a boy called Callum Graham, who's a well-known, becoming well-known fingerstyle acoustic guitarist. But he also sings amazingly. And this is just a really good, catchy song called "Wild Woman."
She a wild woman.
Thought I would
Nice.
share it because it's good.
It's another one that Zach can take way too seriously about, just like a crazy lady or something.
why did he write a song about a wild woman? And why does she
A
live in the
feral.
forest?
A feral beast.
To be fair, the Darkness have a few songs. What's growing? Why is he falling for a woman? Why is he growing on her?
That's
Tumor.
some kind of weird parasite.
Definitely not a song about genital warts. But anyway,
Is that song on Spotify, Greg?
It is, yeah. It's on an album called Tabula Rasa. It's Callum with one L.
Yeah, I found this thing.
It's the second song on
A
Tabula
wild
Rasa.
woman. Okay.
all right.
Sick.
So there you have it. If you are listening at home, listen to anything we've covered in the past, or I mean, we
Just do
prefer
Andy
you to
Beatles
listen
and
to these
get
albums: Employed to Serve, Eternal Forward Motion, The Darkness for Permission to Land, and the singles are Spirit Box, Secret Garden, and Callum Graham, Wild Woman, singing about a woman who lives in the forest.
Maybe in the Secret Garden.
Yeah,
In the secret. Ooh, she's
Damn.
the secret. She's the woman who lives in the secret garden.
yeah.
Damn.
And she's actually an alien that came down, and she's like, "Creatures of the forest, do I have permission to land?" And then she used her eternal forward motion to walk off the UFO. Anyway.
Look at the time.
If this podcast
Employed them to serve.
gave you a chub,
Subscribe and like.
follow our social medias, please.
Review, listen to the album.
Also, please
Have
like
you
our posts.
enjoyed? Hooray.
Please like, comment, be anti-branch, and
Yeah.
let us know you exist.
Please.